Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Jaquan Grand, all right? And today I want to talk about a rather touchy subject, I guess you can say. It's something that's been in the airwaves since it came out, and it's been something that we've been hearing so much. So today I want to talk about the term anti-Semitic and some of the backlashing that Kanye West and Kyrie Irving has been receiving. Let's first talk a little bit about what actually does anti-Semitic mean. So, feeling or showing hostility towards or discrimination against Jews as a cultural, racial, or ethnic group. All right, so that's basically the quote unquote definition of anti-Semitic. So, we've been hearing that term be thrown around so many times, throughout this whole situation, right? Before the Kanye West situation happened, I had never even heard of that term before, to be honest. Maybe I've heard it in passing, but it wasn't something that was truly brought to my attention until after the situation. So my opinion on both of that is I honestly feel like it's super harsh. And it's funny to me too, because you hear people say, right, and this specifically talking about Ye, you hear people say, well, where was his outcry when he said slavery was a choice? What was his outcry when it was the whole White Lives Matter? What was the outcry when he was wearing the MAGA hats? Right? Anything that I felt like demonized African American culture, or it was a blow to African American culture, or if it was like a slap in the face to us, or if we felt discriminated in any way, there was nothing that happened. Right? There was no, hey, let's start taking things away from him. There wasn't no, hey, he need to do some learning, some teaching, somebody need to educate him. It was none of that. It was just kind of just like, yeah, it is what it is, right? And I heard Charlamagne the God say something around the time frame when it was fairly fresh, right? He said something about, well, it's because we don't police our own people, or we basically allow for him to do so. We didn't basically say, hey, we need to basically have power and, basically strip him away from the things that he have over it, whether it's us as fans listening to him, but basically we supposed to have demanded a change, right? So we supposed to have wrote in, or we supposed to have did that. And I forget, he quoted, well, he used a situation where I feel like a police chief or something did something, but we already know so much police brutality, and a bunch of African American people, they marched and they did petitions and stuff, and eventually the person got fired. And he was like, "See, that's what happens when we get together. We can get someone fired." And it's like, let's be real, okay? Because that doesn't happen. That's like a unicorn type of situation, right? When we hear stories of people saying, "Dang, we actually band together, our voice was heard. That person, we got justice." That's not the norm, because it's always the other side. It's always this person got off, this person was acquitted, or this person nothing happened to this. There's no justice served. So when I hear him say like, "Oh yeah, we just band together," I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" Like, no, that's not the case, because we've done that against multiple other different races and nothing happened. So I heard him say like, "Yeah, it's our fault because we didn't get together as a culture and try to basically ban him, or push to get him banned." When he said it about the Jews, you see they got together and they banned. It's like, bro, no, that to me, I personally just couldn't agree with it, and I felt like you're just being you're just talking nonsense. It didn't really make any sense. And fast forward, to me, because once again, when it happened, when Kanye West had his comments, I didn't really look at the video. I seen some snippets and stuff from it, but I didn't really pay attention. So by me doing research and going back, I'm like, all right, so what was actually said? And to me, right, it doesn't. And from what I saw, right, somebody could send me another clip or something, but from what I seen, it really just seemed like him saying, "Oh, black people, he feel like we're the true Jews, or we're the real Jews," or it seemed like he was a lot of his ideology, a lot of the things he was saying were stemming from, "Hey, let's pay attention to these contracts here. We own nothing, right? We have no control." And I seen a video of him showing he was talking to some reporter, and he was basically, it was like a template or an Excel sheet of all these different companies and around the world, like major companies in the entertainment industry. Some of it wasn't even entertainment, but a lot of it was entertainment based. And he basically had the people who were like the higher ups in these companies, right? So it was like Universal, a lot of different companies, right? And they had it color coded based off of the group of people you represented, right? So if you were black, it was this color. If you identify as a Jew, you was this color, and the Jews were red. And when he showed that slide sheet, a good 80-90% of the people who are higher ups, it was all in the red. So to me, it just seemed like he's been trying to point at a specific situation, saying, "Hey, we have no control," and look at if anything is being said or if somebody's being challenged, they have the ability to take everything away from you. And when I saw that, I automatically was just like, this is why it's so important to have ownership, right? Because even though I don't 100% agree with everything Kanye West does and his antics and stuff, a lot of the stuff he do, I do think is just dumb. Um, a lot of the stuff he was saying, he was speaking some points, right? Maybe he just didn't articulate it in the right way, but a lot of the stuff he was saying, it does make sense. Like, yo, look at this. We have no control, yet we're the majority. Yet we literally control it. We don't have nothing that we're owning, right? We're making so much money for these people. And Dr. Umar Johnson, someone who I follow too closely to the situation, I heard him talking a little bit about how, you know, when you look at the grand scheme of things, right? Back in the day, right? So the 80s, 70s, whenever hip hop became, in its early infancy days, basically the Jewish community seeing hip hop was like a lucrative business, and he was saying how Russell Simmons at the time basically sold it to them, and they've exploited it ever since, right? But we also know money is the root of all evil, but I also say it's a tool. And if you have more of the tools and we need that resource or we need that tool, it's easy for people to always say, hey, hand out, help me, help me, help me. And it's like a, revolving door, because I'm an artist, right? I want to get to a bigger space with my music. But the more and more I listen to this situation, and I'm like, yo, where is literally the whole freedom of the speech is out the window, right? You can't even say what you want to say now, because you can get taken from everything you say. And I've heard see people say, "Oh, well, these people have influential platforms." Just like, once again, right? You have people who have influential platforms who are saying anything they want to, right? I.e., Trump. Nothing is happening, right? So the whole double standard is just crazy. So for people to see oh, well, we should crucify him. I'm like, hell no. Why would I crucify this man? Hell no. Nope, I'm going to stand with him. Now, do I stand with everything he say? No, but for this standpoint, I do agree with the points he's making. It's a problem that needs to be corrected. So fast forward with some of the things that he basically said. I want to see if I can find the actual articles of some of the stuff he was basically saying. This is one of the things he said, right? Jewish people have owned the black voice, in that the Jewish community, especially in the music industry, they'll take us and milk us till we die, right? So it literally said the Jewish community, especially in the music industry. So I hear Shannon Sharp also say, like, hey, you can't just say all people, which I do agree with, but it seemed like he was saying especially in the music industry, right? So specifically in the music industry, I would never think one specific individual. I mean, all individuals are, in the wrong, but in this specific situation, definitely the people in the music industry. He also claimed that every celebrity have Jewish people in their contract. He also claimed that his life was threatened by his Jewish managers, lawyers, and accountant due to his political beliefs. Then he said he repeated that the black people cannot be anti-Semitic, stating that we are Semite, we Jew, so I can't be anti-Semite, right? So basically, what I was just saying, as far as where the his teachings or what he believed is, we are the actual true Jews. So he basically said the 12 lost tribes of Judah, right? The blood of Christ, who the people know as the race black really are. He also stated that it's impossible for him to be fairly described as anti-Semitic, because as a black person, he is actually a Jew. So going back to what I was just saying before, he's saying that that's his beliefs. And do you know how many time frames I ran across people who believe different things from me? Right? Do I automatically feel like I should shun them and just take away everything they don't know? Because at the end of the day, people have the right to think the way they think, and they have the right to speak in where they speak. If they're not physically harming someone, then I don't think it's that big of a deal. When I first was hearing it, I'm thinking he was just saying "F Jews." They should have died and all this other stuff. It's just like this man was just saying that they're in control of the black voice. He believed that we're the true Jews. How is this him trying to destroy, another group of people? I don't get that. So the hardest pill for me to swallow was the Kyrie situation, and regardless of how I feel about Kanye West being doing the back and forth, I'm 100% with Kyrie Irving. He's my modern day favorite point guard. He has his ways too, but for the most part, I stand with him. Now his situation was so uncalled for to the point where it was like another head scratcher, right? Why are we so concerned about what other people are doing if they're not physically beating someone up, hurting someone, right? Like blood. Like I was so lost with this situation because his whole thing stemmed from a tweet, right? So if you guys know a little bit about the situation, it started off as a tweet, and then I believe it was a story. So just to kind of talk a little bit about what he did, right, and then what happened, the backlash that happened. So on October 27th, Kyrie Irving tweeted a link to a film saying he called Hebrew to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. It was a 2018 film driven by anti-Semitic tropes, what people believe about Jewish people lying about their origins. Among its false and outlandish claims, it's the assertion that the Holocaust never happened, right? This is what was said in the film. Irvin also made an Instagram post with a screenshot of the film's rental page on Amazon, which he linked on Twitter. All right. After that is when the whole shit story happened, right? So people automatically just thought, oh, he's just like Kanye West, anti-Semitic. What are you talking about? And it prompted to so many things happening from the point of him losing his, his signature shoe with Nike, him being suspended from the team, and all this stuff, right? Asking hey for an apology and all the other stuff. He was just like, how can I, once again, right? This is someone who feels that they're a Jew themselves, right? So during one of his press conferences, he basically said history is not supposed to be hidden from anybody. This is what Kyrie Irving is saying. I'm not going to stand down on anything I believe in. I'm only going to get stronger because I am not alone. I have a whole army around me, which is what I love, right? So immediately they was begging, hey, you need to apologize, you need to apologize. He just like, I am not causing harm to anyone, right? But they were like, oh no, you're causing harm to the Jewish community. They feel some type of way, you need to apologize. So a few days pass and he ends up apologizing, right? Saying, I'm not trying to harm anybody. I wasn't saying anything to harm anyone. I'm specifically saying how I identify myself as, and I'm all about love. They didn't want to hear that. They did not want to hear that. They ended up basically saying, because he didn't physically denounce the film. That's what they wanted to hear. Denounce the film. He never denounced the film. But he did say I didn't mean to cause any harm. I'm not the one that made the documentary, right? He just posted something that he saw that he felt like he resonated with. But he stated, I cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from, right? Same thing like Kanye West. They identify as Jews. Instead of them, it just seemed like you don't associate. No, you black, don't associate yourself with us. Anti-Semitic. It's like, it's just crazy, right? He ended up having to apologize. Like he said, to all my Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected from my post, I am deeply sorry to have caused you pain, and I apologize. I initially reacted out of emotion to being unjustly labeled anti-Semitic, instead of focusing on the healing process of my Jewish brothers and sisters that were hurt from the hateful remarks made in the documentary. And what made me really irritated the most about this whole conversation, it wasn't even the fact that the Jewish people, basically shunned him and, they forced the NBA's hand or him being fired. The thing that made me irritated the most was that you had so many of other athletes and other African American men of power of stature literally throw this man under the bus. And the hardest pill for me to swallow was the LeBron James one, right? LeBron James is my favorite player. You know, I love this man. I love his game. I follow him since I was a kid. You know, he's one of the heroes that I have inside my in my life as far as somebody who's been able to accomplish the things that they dream and, you know, do it on a higher level. And off the court, I've always looked at him as a stand-up guy. You know, he's always with his family. You know, he's always, you know, with his kids and stuff. You know, I'm real big on that. You know, him building the schools. It's like, yo, this man is, the stuff he's doing is amazing. So to hear him come and speak on the Kyrie Irving situation, it was just so irritating because I was just like, bro, you don't have to say anything. Or if this is your quote unquote brother, go talk to him. Hell is you talking to us for? Because by you coming out and saying what you said about him, like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have said that and all this other stuff, like, you know, he hurt people. It's just like, bro, y'all worry about the Lakers right now. Y'all garbage. Focusing on Kyrie Irving. Like, you have no business. It's nothing to do with you, bro. Like, next question. This somebody say, hey, what do you think about? You know, I'm not speaking on that. Can we get into the next question of the game? Because when this other stuff happening, like people was talking about how it was a person who was killed in Akron, right, by the police. What was the comment? What was the outcry then? Yeah, you want to put somebody's damn name on a shoe or on a shirt and feel like you standing there, bro. Come on, that's the stuff that irritated me. Shannon Sharp talking about it. Stephen A. Smith, all these other people was really trying to demonize this person. It's just like, bro, y'all know what this man. Y'all know how this man is. Y'all seen the stuff he's done. You know. Helping get clean water overseas, you know, feeding the families in New York. Y'all see what this man has done. And even when you unpack what he was saying, he shared a link. And the film itself, regardless if it had some stuff in there that was anti-Semitic, that's not. He was coming from a standpoint of love and the pieces of it that he resonate with. They're like, oh, you shouldn't have shared it at all, bro. Do you know how many books like? I seen I was at the barber shop talking to my barber and he brought up like how if y'all so concerned about these stuff in these books, then why aren't y'all, you know, taking away these history books that talk about slavery and the stuff that we endured and, you know, the things they say about us. Why the hell are we still celebrating Columbus Day? Right? You got so much stuff wrong in America. It's like when it comes to us, African Americans, we get the short end of the stick. Anything happen to us, right? Just constantly being stepped over, right? A walking mat. But we want to start talking about why these contracts look this way or what we truly identify as. Oh, no, you anti-Semitic. No, you can't sit over here. No, hell no. To me, it just makes no sense. And it's unfortunate because I don't feel like nothing is going to happen. Like, I honestly feel like, and Dr. Umar Johnson said this, he was just like, y'all should just get together, you know, make your own league, right? Or, you know, make your own record labels and just do it this way. Because what we don't realize is it's us. We're the majority. If we decide to walk away, stop doing sports, stop doing football, stop doing sports, stop doing entertainment, you know, stop doing music, whatever the case may be, acting, movies, shit will be so plain. My piece on that whole situation is I'm upset of the African American men who tried to crucify, and even what made this. Let me even say this. Even coming back now, what they're saying the requirements that Kyrie Irving has to do before he can come back. This is the crazy thing, right? His to-do list, right? This is what this man has to do. One, listen to what I'm saying. He has to issue an apology for posting a link to the movie, condemn it, false content, and make sure he doesn't have anti-Jewish belief. Second is complete anti-hate causes that Irving, the Nets, and the Anti-Defamation League agreed upon their joint release on November 2nd. Number 3 is complete sensitive training caused by the Nets. Complete anti-Semitic, anti-hate training designated by the Nets. Meet with representatives. This is the part that had me crazy. Like, what? Meet with representatives from the ADL and Jewish community leaders in Brooklyn. Hell are we meeting y'all for? After completing 1 through 5, meet with the owner Joe Tsai and lead franchise officials and demonstrate the lessons learned, that the gravity of harm caused in the situation is understood, and provide assistance in this type. Yeah, it's so funny because it's like they know they have money, so it's like, yeah, they can say whatever. The stuff that they're asking these men to do, it's just so sad, man. It's just sad and it's really unfortunate. But I pray that I don't believe it really happening because you have too many other African Americans. They're too comfortable. They enjoy their rides. They enjoy they enjoy a lot of that stuff. And I personally don't see it changing. So I don't know, but it's so unfair. And it's like, once again, when it comes to us, anything can be said, anything can be done. That lift is not going to cancel anything. So I pray for Kanye West. I pray for Kyrie Irving. I pray the situation get resolved sooner. And I pray that we figure it out. If it's like that, we're just posting a link. Y'all, there's nothing else for us to say and talk about. Why the hell are we not getting together to make shit like this happen? Come on, let's figure this out.
AK, play that beat.
If I tell it, I wish everybody got their shit together. We all can't keep folding under pressure. Instead of build, we destroy one another. I know it's hard to hear, but it's the truth. That's for them, that's for me, that's for you. Can't keep blaming things on every other group. Can't stay stuck inside the past, gotta move. We got the tools, we gotta lose. I know we ain't all start at the finish line. I know there's some other races who start ahead of mine. But do that mean I plan to sit and criticize? Would rather get with my people and start to strategize.